Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson football channel for arguably the biggest Premier League preview of the season. I'm not going to say the biggest match of the season, but the Chelsea Football Club hierarchy might actually argue that this is the biggest game so far, with top four football securing Chelsea a financial package that would be just too bad to miss out on if we were in fact to miss out on it. I literally recorded the last video and then pressed the button again to go with this one, but we have to move into letting you guys know about GBFC Selects. It is my free-to-play game. There's £1,000 to be won for the match tonight. The link is in the description. You've got to be 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply, and good luck to all of you who enter. There's also a £5 prize draw for a load of prizes. If you want to get involved with that, there is an option on the page. But Leicester City come to Stamford Bridge tonight, a team who surprised a lot of people, I think. Chelsea were the favourites in that FA Cup final at the weekend, and Leicester were very, very good. I wouldn't say that they played out of their skin and had to really hit their best level in order to beat Chelsea, but the job that they did was more than sufficient enough to lift the trophy. They decided that after they scored that goal, which was an absolute wonder goal, which is worthy of winning any football match at any level, they decided to defend, they sat deep, they allowed Chelsea to come at them, and it really showed in the brightest light possible all of the things that Chelsea have struggled with throughout the entirety of this season. Breaking teams down in a low block has been the bane of Chelsea Football Club's life in the past 2 weeks, or the past weeks, since we lost to Arsenal, who defended with 10 players behind the ball and the goalkeeper. Leicester did pretty much the same thing. Jamie Vardy was trying to run, but he couldn't get the ball because Leicester couldn't really get out. Chelsea had penned them in, but then making that penning in something that was fruitful, that created chances and goal-scoring opportunities, was something that we didn't do enough. We forced Kasper Schmeichel to make 2 great saves to deny both Chilwell from a header and a wonderful Mason Mount volley, which were world-class saves from Kasper Schmeichel. Credit to him, he was really the match winner for Leicester. But Chelsea, in a cup final like that, I expected so much more. I feel as though the intensity at which we attacked at was only ever maximum 85%, and that was when we were really chasing the game. In the dying moments when Chilwell scored that offside goal, arguable offside goal, but offside goal nonetheless, and we need to do far better than that tonight. And I think the team that I've decided to build is one that is going to enable us to change things enough to be able to combat the issues that we have self-created over the course of the past couple of weeks. I think the key thing is that the players that have been on the field have been too reluctant to actually try and go past their men, to actually get closer to the goal in order to play those kind of cutback passes that we saw us do against Real Madrid. When Mason Mount scored that goal, it's because we actually had the desire to really push directly with the ball, not pass sideways waiting for an opportunity. We created it ourselves from the movement of the players that didn't have the ball at their feet. So, apologies about that, the camera battery died, but without any further ado, we are going to build my Chelsea team that I believe can go out there and kind of, cover over the cracks a little bit of what was a disappointing FA Cup display, but a win tonight keeps things in our hands going into the final game of the season away at Aston Villa. We need to win both of these Premier League games to build that momentum again, going in to the biggest game in the last 9 years. Little caveat that I want to say, by the way, that puppy of mine I've talked to you guys about, that we're still thinking about a name, so let me know your name suggestions in the comments. He arrives on the 21st of May 2021, exactly 9 years after Chelsea win the Champions League. So maybe he could be the Dalmatian good luck charm. But without any further ado, we begin with a return to the side for Mr. Edouard Mendy. Kept more clean sheets than anybody this season, and he's Chelsea's #1 keeper. No disrespect to Kepa for either of the goals he conceded in the last 2 games, but I think that leadership thing is massive. I think the players incredibly trust Edouard Mendy to a T, and I think this season he's really shown that even if Chelsea are looking to sign a goalkeeper this summer, he's a wonderful option for this football club moving forward. We move into a back 3, and I don't change anything from my back 3 that I selected for the game against Leicester in the Cup. Azpi, Silva, Rudiger. With these 3 players, you get an abundance of experience, you get a competent left-sided centre-half, competent right-sided centre-half, and Thiago Silva, who I think is absolutely key to Chelsea seeing these last 3 games through. They are cup finals in every possible sense. This one is the biggest one, because if we lose tonight, it's no longer in our hands. Liverpool can overtake us and we could end up in Europa League football next season. If that happens and we lose the final, it's a tragedy. It is an absolute disaster, catastrophe of a season if that is the case. So that is the back three I move with, and we move again into the wing backs. And you understand the reason why I've gone with both Reece James and Ben Chilwell in this position when you listen to the players that I've chosen further up the field. Reece James, his crossing, it is going to be key tonight. Azpilicueta, as good as he can be in that wing-back role defensively, for me, he doesn't offer enough with those early crosses that we know that Reece James is incredibly competent with. So we need Reece James to really show tonight that ability that he has, not just to get forward to the byline, but to play those early balls over the top. If Leicester are going to sit deep, we might need to deliver things early instead of always trying to patiently build up on the edge of the area. So I want that from Reece James. Ben Chilwell will have the bit between his teeth for this game tonight. There is absolutely no doubt in my mind that Chilwell has to start this game. If I see Alonso on the team sheet, I'm going to be fuming. If he scores the winner, I will eat a slice of humble pie. But Chilwell, when he came on against Leicester, was exceptional. And I think tonight, he's got to start the game again. I think the way that he kind of used the fact it was Leicester to his advantage by really going at the defence, taking players on, getting to the byline, getting in the box, is absolutely massive for Chelsea in this game tonight, and I expect him to start. I hope he does. And we move into the central midfield too. The camera's going to overheat again in a second. I apologise if it does. Kante, Kovacic. These two need to play together. Jorginho in the last two games has been poor. I always say it with Jorginho. He's very much a player who, if he has a bad game, 2 bad games, he goes into a bad spell. And he loses a bit of confidence. And I think as much as he is a leader, and the Chelsea players always say how important he is within the dressing room, I think he sometimes loses his own head when he's not playing well in these big matches. So for this one, I would take him out. Kovacic is back, massive for Chelsea. The ball progression, the press resistance, N'Golo Kante as well has been monumental at times in the second half of this season. And I think these two tonight could be the difference makers, where Chelsea may have struggled to contain the game in the middle of the park in the final. I believe in this one, it is key that these guys take control of that Chelsea midfield, progress us up the pitch, and I really hope they both start this game tonight. We move into a different front three, and I say different, it's very different. I've gone with the wild card, and I have put both Callum Hudson-Odoi and Olivier Giroud back in the side alongside Mason Mount. Mason Mount didn't have the best game, either against Arsenal or in that cup final against Leicester. However, I do not think we can underestimate the potential that this guy has to be that match winner. Absolutely key. When this guy's on song, Chelsea are on song. And I think in this game, not only do we need our best players on the pitch, and I believe Mason Mount is one of the best players in this Chelsea squad, if not the best right now, Callum Hudson-Odoi. He's a player with a point to prove. He's a player who loves to run at players. And this kind of game, not only Tuchel giving him this start gives him the confidence and belief that there is belief in the man, who I think Callum is a player who thrives off of knowing that the manager really believes that he can make a difference. And I think the problem with Callum is he's a bit like a ticking time bomb at the moment at Chelsea. Everyone can see that there are those moments and flashes of brilliance. However, in recent times, I believe there's been a reluctance for him to really express how good he is at taking players on, at gliding forwards with the ball. I want to see him do more of it, and I think tonight it would be massive. You know, I think Christian Pulisic, as brilliant as he is, I would actually use Pulisic off the bench in this game to inject something totally new with energy if Chelsea need it with 30 odd minutes to go. But I would start with Callum, go straight out of the blocks, out of the gate early, and then having him, who can also put in a wonderful ball into the box with Olivier Giroud, waiting on the end of it. I think it could be a brilliant recipe for success tonight for Chelsea. We need to try something different. Timo Werner, it's not been working. He didn't do anywhere near enough in that game against Leicester, and when he did get the opportunities, his confidence in front of goal was shot, and the shot goes flying over the bar or flying wide of the post. So for that reason, I can't start Timo Werner again tonight. Olivier Giroud's the man I'm going with. I can see that the camera is about to overheat again, so I'm going to ask you guys to let me know what your thoughts are on my team selection for this huge game tonight against Leicester. Chelsea have got to go for the win. I'm going to say that we get it 1-0, the same scoreline, but on the reverse of the cup final at the weekend. Going to wrap this one up here. If you didn't see the earlier video today, I made a video talking about Chelsea and their chances of signing Harry Kane. So check that one out, and I will see you after the game for 6 things that we learned. This is a must-win. I bloody hope we get it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Sign up for GBFC Selects. See you after the game. Come on, you Blues.